You touched the wrong gun. That is the entire story. That is the complete chain of events that led you here. You picked up a weapon, held it too long, and now you cannot put it down. Not because you are stubborn, not because you are greedy, because the weapon is no longer in your hand. The weapon is your hand. Welcome to the Obliterator virus. You did not ask for this. You did not sign up for this. You did not volunteer like the Death Dread Pilot or beg for redemption like the Penitent Engine. You simply touched something infected at some point, a weapon, a piece of technology, another obliterator, and the virus entered your body and started working. And by the time you noticed the symptoms, it was already too late. Let's start at the beginning. Let's talk about what you were before. Most obliterators were tech marines, the Space Marine chapter's engineers, the warriors who understood machines at a spiritual level, who maintained the chapter's vehicles and weapons and armor, who served as the bridge between the Adeptus Mechanicus and the chapter. They loved technology, understood it, could feel the machine spirit in every weapon they touched. This, it turns out, was a significant vulnerability. The Obliterator virus targets people who have a deep relationship with technology. It finds the neural pathways that connect your mind to the machines you work with, and it uses them. It travels those connections like roads, and it brings something with it from the warp that does not have a name anyone is comfortable saying out loud. The 9 stages of infection take different amounts of time in different people. Some progress quickly. Some resist for years. The virus is patient. It has nowhere else to be. Stage 1. You notice small metallic protrusions growing from your skin. Not painful yet, just strange. A small ridge of metal along your forearm, a patch of your armor that seems to have grown into the skin beneath it. You report it to the apothecary. The apothecary runs tests. Stage 2. Your affinity for machinery increases dramatically. You can feel machines around you in a way you could not before. Not metaphorically, literally. The machine spirits of nearby weapons and vehicles reach out to you. They whisper. The whispers are not words exactly, but they are clearly communication. You find this unsettling. The apothecary runs more tests and looks concerned. Stage 3, the first weapon absorbs. This is the stage no one who has experienced it can adequately describe afterward, partly because adequate description requires a frame of reference that no longer applies, and partly because the people who experience stage 3 are not generally in a state to write reports. You are holding a weapon, a bolter perhaps, a plasma gun. It does not matter what it is, you are holding it the way you have held weapons 10,000 times before, and then you feel it start. The metal of the grip begins to soften where it contacts your palm. Not melt, soften, like it is remembering that it was once ore, once liquid, once formless. The weapon begins to merge with your hand at the molecular level. The process takes minutes. It is not painless. By the time it finishes, the weapon is gone. It is part of you. Your hand has become something that is partly hand and partly weapon, and entirely neither. You cannot remove it. You cannot put it down. You try. For a long time you try. It does not come off. Stage 4 through 7 involve your armor doing the same thing. Slowly, plate by plate, the ceramite of your power armor begins to fuse with the skin beneath it. The cables and systems merge with your nervous system. The helmet, if you wore one, becomes your skull, or your skull becomes the helmet. The distinction stops being meaningful fairly quickly. Your body is changing in other ways too. Your bones are fusing with titanium. Your blood is becoming something that can run white hot like plasma when you need it to. Your internal organs are being replaced, supplemented, transformed, generating electricity, processing ammunition as nutrition, becoming part of the weapons platform your body is turning into. You are also going insane. This is documented. This is expected. This is, from a certain perspective, merciful. The alternative to insanity in this situation is remaining completely lucid while your body is systematically transformed into a living weapons platform. And the literature suggests that the versions who resist the mental degradation have a significantly worse experience of the process than those who do not. The insanity is not the blank rage of the hellbrute. It is not the frenzied combat state of the berserker. It is something more specific and more strange. An obsession, a need, a hunger. You need more weapons, more technology, more fusion. The virus has rewritten the reward pathways in your brain so that the absorption of machinery, the feeling of metal becoming flesh, of circuits becoming nerves, of weapons becoming part of you, triggers something that used to be called satisfaction. The more you absorb, the more you need to absorb. Obliterators eat ammunition, literally. What goes in your mouth, or what used to be your mouth before it became something else, is processed by organs that were not there before the virus and converted into rounds, fuel, plasma, whatever your body currently needs to fire the weapons that used to be your arms. You do not get hungry for food anymore. You get hungry for ammunition and for technology and for more weapons to absorb. By stage 9, you are fully transformed. You are no longer a space marine in any meaningful sense. You are no longer wearing armor. You are armor. You are no longer carrying weapons. You are weapons. You stand as tall as a Terminator and as broad as you are tall. A mass of fused flesh and metal and demon and ceramic and cable that was once a person and is now something else entirely. You can spawn any weapon from your body at will. The virus that transformed you did not just give you a single fixed armament. It gave you the ability to grow whatever the situation requires. Heavy bolters from your shoulders, plasma cannons from your chest, las cannons from your arms, reshaping the metal flesh of your body into the correct configuration for whatever needs to die next. The ammunition grows with it, generated by your internal organs. You cannot be disarmed. There is nothing to disarm. You are the armory. Now, here is where it gets interesting. The obliterators are not random individual victims. They are a cult, the cult of destruction. An actual organized group with rituals, hierarchy, and goals, obsessed with the pursuit of technological and alchemical perfection through chaos. They seek the complete fusion of flesh and steel and demon. They consider the transformation not a curse, but an achievement, the endpoint of a philosophy. They owe allegiance to no specific chaos god and no specific legion. They appear wherever the fighting is thickest, manifesting through the warp in storms of light, and they lay waste to whatever is present, then they vanish. Chaos Lords pay enormous prices to secure obliterators for their warbands. Wars have been fought to acquire archaeotech that obliterators wanted in exchange for their support. They are that valuable and that rare. The Iron Warriors are the exception to the rarity. Somehow, and this is one of the most closely guarded secrets in the Eye of Terror, the Iron Warriors have significantly more obliterators than any other legion, and their obliterators can control the mutations, manage the transformation. The warsmiths of the Iron Warriors are believed to infect specific warriors deliberately, using an altered version of the virus to create obliterators on demand. Whether Perturabo himself authorized this, whether he designed the altered virus, whether this is the Iron Warrior's answer to the question of unlimited living heavy weapons, none of this has been confirmed. The Inquisition very much wants to know. The Iron Warriors are not answering questions. The virus is spreading. After the 13th Black Crusade, evidence emerged that the Obliterator virus was active on worlds throughout the Imperium. It is spreading slowly, a fraction of its strength in the material universe, but spreading. On worlds with sufficient numbers of infected, Obliterator cults are forming. The virus can infect Tyranid bioships. It severs them from the hive mind and rewires them for chaos control. A Tyranid vessel, a living organic creature the size of a city, being reprogrammed by the same thing that reprogrammed you. You are not the endpoint of this virus. You are a stage back to you. You stand among your cult brothers, bodies of fused flesh and metal and demon. None of you look the same. Each obliterator is unique. The virus takes everyone differently, combines with the specific weapons absorbed and the specific person who was there before the transformation in ways that produce different results every time. The man you were before is still in there somewhere. This is perhaps the most unsettling part. The Hellbrute lost himself to rage. The Penitent Engine has the guilt to hold on to. You are still present, still thinking, still aware, still the person who once maintained engines and felt the machine spirits of chapter vehicles. But what you want now is completely different from what that person wanted. You want to absorb more. You want to transform more. You want to find a piece of technology and feel it merge with your flesh and know that you are becoming more complete, more whole, more fully what the virus is making you. You look at a Land Raider and feel hunger. The Adeptus Mechanicus dreams of the fusion of flesh and machine. They have spent 10,000 years pursuing this goal through careful, reverent cybernetics, replacing parts of themselves with technology piece by piece, moving slowly toward what they call the Omnissiah's vision. You achieve their dream in 9 stages, and you are a nightmare. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war, and you are not fighting it anymore. You are it.